Let me know when you're rolling.
Ready.
A Sword of Omens tells me that you're watching Southern Comic Geek. Thundercats. Ho!
And that would be correct. Thank you for that introduction. One that Paul's comics would never seem to get. He doesn't even know who the Transformers are, let alone Thundercats. Thank you for those of you that are watching, whether you're watching live on the Rewind, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're watching and taking time out of your busy schedule to see what kind of crazy madness is going to go on here on the channel today. It means something. So be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification. So when videos like this one go up ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. Yeah, look at that. #1 Marvel fan in the chat. What is going on, man? Do you know yet? Are you going to make it to Baltimore? Let inquiring minds know. And then, of course, this guy, I'm excited to see anything Miles Morales. If you can't tell, there's somebody that did the thumbnail for today's show, and it wasn't me. It was a Miles Morales fan. And so let's get that guy in the chat. Mark.
Hey, Jason, I appreciate you letting me on, man. Yeah, Mr. Collector 123, I'm excited too. See what we have for Miles. Most likely, it's probably gonna be me, but yeah, it's. I looked at that. We were talking about that one as soon as I got on. As soon as I looked at the, he told me he's like, oh, the thumbnail, and I looked at it after I gave it to him. I'm like, that's fine. We'll roll with it.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about this. I was like, that sounds like such a Paul Comics thing to do. Like to create dummy accounts and just say, oh yeah, Paul's the best person there is. You know how you used to do like with Strictly's account, it shows up as Strictly and he would say, Paul's the best host ever. Yeah. Okay, great.
Telling you.
That's how Paul rolls. But anyway, thanks for everybody for showing up today. Yeah, so as you see, it says niche collecting. If I could be a little more niche, I would be certainly the better for it. My pocketbook would be better for it. But yeah, so just talking about what we've been picking up over the last little bit. Mark here has gotten into the original art game, and he saw that it was not very niche at all, but very like over here, squirrel, over here, squirrel, other here, Miles Morales. And so all these various things show up, and he's trying to focus because he still, like myself, collects comics. And so, but in comics in general, do you get well, let me ask you this before we get to the newsstands deal. So do you still collect, do you have like a pull list at your shop monthly?
Yeah, I mean, I still pick up new books. I definitely don't pick up as much as I used to from when I guess really started reading, because there's just a lot of stuff that I kind of burn off on a little. But I mean, obviously the Miles I always pick up. The Ultimates is always good. Yeah, I would say I have a really small pull list, to be honest, and everything else has been more focused on the art and other things. But yeah.
Yeah. So, same here. I still pick up stuff. I just recently narrowed my pull list down to, I actually took X-Men off of there. So for those of you who know what kind of X-Men collector I have been in the past, and I took Batman and Detective Comics off. Marvel and DC, tisk. Vast majority of my stuff is related to the Energon universe, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Void Rivals, which is actually ending. So yeah, but there are several things that I pick up like here and there, like some of the Absolute titles. I've been digging those. But by and large, yeah, the dollars are going to more niche things. The last day of Lex Luthor was a fun read. Only thing I hated was that it took so long for that second and third book to come out, Tom. But it was a fun read, especially how it ended. So no spoilers here, spoiler-free zone. Work on published only, Mr. Collector. So there's a guy who has an exceptional collection, not only in art, but then also movie props, which is kind of funny that you should be here because somebody on this stream asked me about a movie prop that he was looking at. And so, yeah, Tom can tell you all about the movie prop deal because he's got a huge. Did you see when Bill did his interview, Mark?
No.
Yeah, so if you get a chance, go back there and check it out because they talked about some of the stuff, and he's got some of it in his background and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, so he's got quite the collection as it relates to movie memorabilia.
Okay.
But yeah, so published on and that's something that I've narrowed. That was one way that I narrowed it down because is to the published aspect. Because generally the way that I collect is like, okay, if I buy something, like, would I have a really good chance of getting rid of it and not losing a lot of money? Hopefully breaking even at least, but at least not losing a lot of money. And so, when I've sold stuff that was just commissions or seen other people sell stuff that was just commissions and, the haircut that you take on that, I can't afford too much of haircuts. So I don't have the luscious locks that Dapper Dan here has. But so I can't afford the haircuts when it comes to valuations there. But yeah, good point. Let's talk newsstands. So when was Marvel's last newsstands put out?
I believe August of 2013. So Marvel went all the way to 2013. Towards the end of the year, DC went all the way to 2017. So some people might not know that, but yeah. So those are the two differences in those. But yeah, 2013.
Yeah. So okay. So that's interesting. So DC went a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. And then Dark Horse, I'm not sure when Dark Horse quit. And the reason why I bring Dark Horse up, because I was collecting the Star Wars titles they were putting out. And though you couldn't get them in the supermarkets, you could get them at like Barnes & Noble and Books A Millions. Yeah. And they say Star Wars Presents, which is the same thing as a newsstand for those collectors that like that niche. But it's certainly a way to kind of as far as your newsstand collecting, you only collect like later newsstands or just simply the Miles Morales later newsstands?
No. I collect. I like. So I actually brought some examples, and I'll show you right now. Actually, if I can. So if I either like the characters or I like the story of it, I'm gonna go for it. So, so start off with Marvel. This is the Carol Danvers. This is very hard to find. Vengeance Spider-Man number 9. So this is a newsstand, and I got really lucky on finding this because, of course, depending on what the book is and the print count of it, because I'm not sure what the print count on this was, but I mean, this was already at the end of it because this was 2012 August, so it's already at that 1% mark. And what people don't know is that 1% is what they sent them. And so it's not like they have back stuff. So whatever didn't sell for that book, they didn't. What they were told to do was either rip the book off the cover and throw it away, or send it back, and then they destroyed it. They didn't have a back bin, So these books that didn't sell, that I honestly think the 1% is even lower than that. In all honesty.
Well, and then even the ones that did survive, let's see, they got sold to somebody. How many of them had parents who threw them out at some point, or people that coaled the house or had water, fill their basements and the stuff got thrown away. So yeah, I mean, it's very niche. And since the print counts were so low at that point, this is where newsstands actually matter because it's funny on the auction shows, you always hear somebody inevitably say about an 80s book, "Oh, it's a newsstand." Okay. What's the big deal? Like it was in the majority of them were newsstands. And so, yeah, though this is where it's much harder to find, and that's part of any collecting, I would assume. But I know as it relates to comic book or even comic art, because since there's only one of them, is the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
And so, when you can get on eBay or any of these other places and find just about anything that you want, it's the thrill of the hunt, being able to connect with people. You mentioned something earlier about, people when they find out that you liked a certain thing, you had like 4 people message you that so-and-so was going to be at a con or whatever. Getting those connections to where people are looking out for you as well.
Yeah.
It's certainly a fun part of the hobby too. So how many Miles Morales newsstands do you have?
So the only ones that Miles actually won was for Ultimate Fallout 4, Ultimate Comics, All New Spider-Man, and then the Spider-Man series, the one where he first met Peter, and that's a mini series. So that's 5 issues. But so that whole, out of all of those, I have almost 2 full sets of the Spider-Man. I'm working on 2 full sets for the Ultimate Comics, All New Spider-Man, and then some of them. This book actually, and I'll show you this one.
What's up, Cali Comics?
This one, which I talk about. If you follow me on Instagram, I talk about this book a lot. This is obviously a newsstand. This is, to me, I think the most important Miles book, next to obviously his first appearance. So a lot of people think that's his first time as Spider-Man is the Ultimate Comics 4, but that's just the first appearance of Miles. In this issue, he actually gets his new suit, or his official suit, and then he's actually named Spider-Man. Like, they officially gave him the title. Spider-Woman and Genki, his best friend. So this is when he actually becomes officially Spider-Man. So I think this is a bigger key than what people might put out it to be. I just got another one. I got 12 copies now officially with this. Yeah. So, yeah, I got 12 of these. So that one, but kind of going back on another one, really hard to find newsstand book is, and I know you know this one,
Yep.
Court of Owls. So this one's really hard to come by as well. Overall, I mean, the cover is just great too, but yeah, this is a really tough one to find. And the one that actually started it all for me is, well, no, this one. This is probably the highest grade I have of any of my newsstands. 9.6. First meetup, Miles and Peter. So I managed to get a really good deal on this one, finding it, and found that one. So on this, I think I have 6 copies now of this one.
So you just scored a raw one of that, though, didn't you? The person didn't notate that it was a newsstand, but the picture was a newsstand.
Yeah. So he had a $5, which is still cheaper than what the regular cover goes for, or the direct. He had $5 on it, and I was blown away because I'm always, just looking, because people don't know about these things, and I try to jump on it. So as soon as I saw it, and it even had a best offer option, but I didn't want to chance it and someone else see what it was and pick it up. So I ended up grabbing it instantly, and I was kind of worried because it kind of looked like a stock photo. And so I didn't know if someone just, maybe just took a, because you get those things happen sometimes. So I did reach out to them. They said, yeah, it's the same book. So I ended up getting the book a few days later, and sure enough, that was it. I actually just picked these up too. I just got these in. So these are all just, the regular copies, just fillers. But as like I said, as I was zooming in on the photos, and of course this is later on. This is newsstand 18. So once you get past, I believe, issue 10, everything just, the print count just sinks. It's some of the print counts are like half of what the first 10 were. So again, the 1% thing comes in effect. So these are you never come across these, but I ran into another guy that kind of helped me get a couple of them. He told me he found some other ones, and I'm getting 8 more issues from the end of the run. So I have those coming in as well. These came from Australia. These just got delivered today. So did this one.
So are you picking these off of eBay or what?
These I found on eBay, and then I found this one on eBay as well.
What's up, Warlord?
Yeah, but the main one, which we were in the same building when this happened. I'll never forget this story. And of course, I'm always gonna add your name to the story regardless. But we were at Dallas Fan Expo, and that was actually my first time being there. And got there. We got there early, me and the person I was with, but I didn't actually get in the show until about 7:00. Show ended at what, about 8? Like show ended like at 8:30. So I was eager to get in there, but as soon as I see the double doors and people are walking in and out at this point, I see this 4x4 wagon with these chrome spinners on it, and I'm like, I know that license plate, and sure enough, Kenneth Bird, hey, as soon as I see him, I just see you, and I was like, what? He was right there at the entrance, and we're talking, and a couple other people were there. And then all of a sudden, you always bring this up about the hat. I just happened to have a hat at that time, and I turned it around and I said, all right, I'm going to go hunt. And I think maybe not even 45 minutes later, I come up to him, and I've never seen one in person until this time, and never seen another one besides one other. I take it back, like the year after I seen one other one in person, but this is obviously Ultimate Fallout 4, but this is the newsstand. So this is what started it all off for me, was this, because I was originally looking for the 1 in 25, because I never thought I would run into this book, so I was looking for the 1 in 25, but this was actually in someone's booth that they go every year. It was just up in the corner, like on their high end books. And I also was a 9.4, and I'm thinking like, okay, but it had a yellow tag on it with like some writing on it. So I asked the guy, I was like, hey, can I see that book? And he's like, okay, well, it's a pricey book. And I'm thinking like, well, 9.4s don't go for that much, like as of right now, compared to what they used to be. So I was like, okay, well, he's like, oh, it's a newsstand. And so my eyes get up. And then so I was like, okay. And I'm going to tell the whole story. I know probably some people in the chat are going to be looking at me crazy because I'm about to tell them what happened. So I brought a book to trade just in case I found something else. They can print it. Would love to get. Oh, and that, yeah. No, it's a great book. So I go, and at this time of the market, this book and another book that I brought were around the same price. Actually, mine or this one was worth more at the time. So I bring the book out, and I said, hey, you're willing to do a trade? They ended up calling their boss over, who was in line doing autographs, and he comes rushing over, and instantly, like, we're talking, he wanted me to throw some cash on there, but I explained to him the reason, like, this book that I'm giving you, you're going to be able to move this a lot quicker than this one. I'm sure you've had this for months. And he's like, yeah, I've had it for a good while. I said, well, it's no good being in that spot or you having it if it's not going to move for you for the value of it. I said, this is a liquid book. And he goes, he's thinking, and he just instantly said, okay, I'll do the trade. So we did the trade, and I'll just tell you the book. Paul makes fun of me every day about this book, but I ended up trading 181 Hulk 181 8.5. It wasn't white pages, but it was a 8.5. And before anyone says anything, you can go any show and find a 181. You're gonna find maybe 20 copies minimum at a big show. Everyone has 181s, and not knocking on the 181, but for me, and obviously I just showed you guys I'm a big Miles fan, so to find this book was, I didn't even think about it. I didn't hesitate. I just jumped on it quick, and like I said, I still have people that make fun of me about it, but it is what it is. I enjoy it.
So for those of you who were not in attendance at Dallas Fan Expo, I just want want y'all to be aware of kind of what happened. This was a picture that was taken of Mr. Collector at the show, trying to deal with the dealer there. So yeah. He turned his hat around just like that. So
see, I told them I played it cool up. I played it cool up front. Then when I started walking away, my back's all sweating and everything, and I'm like, I had to keep it cool. And I see Southern. I tell him about it, and then I tell Paul about it. He just looks. He's like, "You're the biggest idiot in the world. Why would you?" He's like I said, he brings it up every day about it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, and now since I've managed to get obviously the full run, the regular run, and still collecting, got the newsstands. Now I started diving into, the art. The only thing kind of stinks right now is a lot of people that do art for Miles is digital, and that's for pretty much a lot of artists now. It's digital, and I always talk to Southern about like AP's artist proofs and all that. Like, is it? I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm keeping it either way. But I guess we're both kind of, or I was kind of on the page of like, is it, is it a true one of one, or are they not printing this? And you're the one that told me about that, so, and that's why I get kind of hesitant about diving into that. And so I don't know if anyone else in the chat has any anything to say about that, but yeah. So I try to. So the next thing I came up with is, and this is the first time I've done this, was actually this past show in Dallas, again Dallas. So I decided to do a what do you call it, a jam piece? Is that what you call it?
yeah.
A jam piece, yeah. So I want to get every person that's worked on Miles, artist wise, and I want them to do a version of their Miles, or and then I want to have them go throughout the city, swinging, jumping on buildings, stuff like that. So Dallas, there was two artists that have worked on him in the past. Brent Peoples and David Messina, and so this is the start of it. So Peoples did the background and he did the ink once Messina finished his, which is right here. So once I get the third one right here, I'm gonna get Peoples because he actually lives a few hours away. I'm gonna just mail it to him and let him finish it up, and then start the next section. I'm just gonna have it connecting, but yeah, I think I like it so far. Originally, what's funny is Peoples did one different. It was all black at one point. He didn't really add the colors and a little of the white. And then Messina did his, and he put on there. He told me, he's like, I'm gonna outshine Peoples. He's like, I'm gonna make mine look brighter and everything. He's like, I'm gonna see if he changes his when you do it. And sure enough, he did, because I have a photo of it, what it was before he retouched it, and he told me, oh, I don't want to get outshined. So he ended up adding more colors to it, which I thought was funny. And that's what Messina told me. He said, always you're always gonna have an artist trying to up you. He's like, so when you set the tone of the piece, he's like, that's the way it's gonna go. So whatever artist, they're gonna follow in that footsteps. They're not gonna have, two great artists or pieces or characters, whatever it might be, and then you have someone just give a little effort. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that they didn't fix that.
That's the benefit of doing stuff like that, is because they do try to one up each other. Warlord says that is fire, cool, very cool looking. BLC is hitting up everybody in the chat. BLC, I think he came in late, but this one's.
Let me know when you're ready. The Sword of Omens tells me that you're watching Southern Comic Geek. Thundercats. Ho!
So there you go. But no, so the problem with collecting original art, back to your point about the Miles Morales and the artist, is basically it's only covers, or largely covers. If you're going to go the published route,
No.
you're going to have to go to covers, which are even more expensive. So,
Pacelli, Marquez. Yeah, I've
Mhm.
hit them both up, and Pacelli's covers. I think the cheapest one I've seen her put out, and it's it's not even a huge book. Regardless, it's 10,000, and yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and so yeah, it gets exceptionally crazy. And Miles is a fairly popular character, and so then you got a lot of other people that are trying to, nip away
Yeah,
at you on the auction block because you are currently bidding on one for Comic Link, aren't you?
yeah. Well, Heritage.
Oh, it's Heritage. Okay,
Yeah, there's two pieces actually. I'm gonna try to go for both.
is
Hopefully,
it is it the one with the Spider Women on there too?
no, no.
You know
You're
which one?
talking about the one where they're all jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. No, I'm not gonna go for that one. That was from the Amazing Spider-Man run, but I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of the issue. It's a later on issue. It's like 600 and something, I think.
Yeah.
It's a nice cover though. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's got all the girls on it, so that's why
That one, and
um,
then I'm
I
also
really
trying some Venom as well.
a lot of people going for that.
Some Venom stuff. The oh, I want to show you this too. This is a cool thing that I found. Never seen it. Um, it's a Marvel 5-pack, but this is a sealed one. And this is the second print of all things, which is even crazier.
Oh,
The Spider-Man. Yeah.
is that a new thing?
No, no. This came out in when this book came out in 2013. 2013. Yeah.
Huh.
So they did a 5-pack, and I've never seen one in person, but when I bought it originally, I was emailing the person. They said that they found it at a store years and years ago with some other ones, and this was one of them. But yeah, this is a little barcode on the back, but yeah, I've never in my life seen another one or seen anything like this one or with this cover at least.
Interesting. Yeah. So is it just? I'm sure there's four other books behind there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I don't know what books are in there. I'm not gonna open it to see either. I'm keeping this closed, and then like I said, I try to get everything first with Miles. This came out the same year he was actually his 2011 Marvel Universe.
is it meant to be upside down like that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's how it's like a variant. But the crazy thing is, his actual toy came out from the same Marvel Universe a year later. But on this one, they don't list him on here as they did in the first one. But when you look it up, this is him though. They notated on the notes on like on the website, but on here they make it seem like it's just Peter by himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Th-
Because that's
th-
the art on there.
yeah, but this is
Huh.
so this is yeah. So this one, and then there's his official one is a year later.
Well, because the packaging for those is another thing, another original art deal. Because I've seen some, I haven't seen that one. I've seen, I think it was the Apocalypse that was done for that series line there.
Oh, he
Um,
covers up the whole box, right? He's really big.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
seen that one.
But
That one's nice.
yeah. So the art's like super big, but then the
Mhm.
package is small, so
Yeah,
it didn't really have a lot of room to put that stuff on there. But
I
um,
even can I share my screen real quick?
yeah, sure.
I'm gonna show this real quick. So I even have this, and I showed and I told you about this. Let's see if it pops up. So I even I'm so much of a Miles fan that I found out when after it's not this exact one, but or this one that's in this photo, but someone hit me up and said, "Hey, I have this display sign that was in Target. Do you want it?" Or he sold it to me. So I'm thinking like, yeah, okay, cool. This thing is, I mean, look how big it is in the photo. This thing is massive. I have nowhere to put it. Like it's just like on the side. Uh, this thing is huge. So I have this, and like I said, I even like the display sign. So my goal is to keep getting more packaged figures, and because I don't open my figures, but I want to keep them all open. Put this on the wall eventually, and put some hangers like this, and have like a little display rack of everything with the sign.
Yeah, that would be nice. But
The thing is
I'll,
massive. Let me
so
get-
yeah, that's crazy. See, it pays to have people to know people, right?
yeah, no, it really does.
So did you post that on Reddit or did somebody else?
No, this is because I was trying. This is the only picture online for it. The one that I have, I it's on my Instagram, but I don't. Yeah, this is the only picture I could ever find. So there's proof of this was a display for Target, but other than that, though, see, I
Yeah.
like the. That's cool. I'm working on a deal right now with someone, and they have a Subway poster that was like in New York for the
Okay.
movie. But I think it's how tall is it? I think it's like 8 feet long. So I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna be able to display that, but so I'm trying to work a deal on getting that. But that's cool though. Yeah, I wish I knew someone that worked at the theater because there's a bunch of cool posters. Like the Jaws 50th anniversary. I don't know if you've been to the movies and seen it. Like that right there, that's a cool one to grab. But yeah, those. Oh, that's cool to have. If you ever decide to sell that Warlord, hit me up. I'll definitely buy it from you. And then, I guess I could show my latest pickup I got, which I got this at the. I didn't think I showed it last time we were on the air, but I got this from when we went to Dallas. I was picking up at Heritage, and that's I guess the best part of if you buy something big from Heritage. I'm a few hours away from there, but I mean it's better to you don't have to worry about something happening shipping. This is from Venom page or issue 9. Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman. Pick this up. This is the from the issue of First Dylan Brock. So I brought the other ones too, but I have the page right before this, and I was bidding on the page after this one. No, the page before mine. So I could have had 3 pages lined up together, but I didn't end up winning that auction. But it's an awesome piece. So I'm glad to have this in the collection. Venom. I've been picking up a lot of Venom lately too. Mainly Dylan stuff, Dylan Brock. Those are the latest pickups I have. And I think I think I have this one as well. Where's it at? Oh, and then I picked up another set of these. I'm into cards as well. These are from 1980. I have the rest of them. I just brought a few. These are stickers. You would get these from. They're called Terrabusi. So it's like a candy you would get from I believe Mexico.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So these are pretty cool. They're not expensive at all, but they're just really cool to have. Get your Spider-Man. And that's another thing that I'm trying to kind of get into also, and it's getting pricey now, but artwork for the cards.
Oh yeah.
Those are always cool.
So talking about the artwork for the cards for OAX, they have a whole separate thing for the cards for the people because when I was collecting cards in the 90s, after that they kind of the card market kind of died off, they started doing different stuff aside from, like, say, the holograms. The other thing that they started doing was the artist, the one of ones, so they would have these artists do those cards and then put in randomly into a pack. And so a lot of those artists are going to be there at OAX. Last year, I don't know, did I walk? I did. I went through the collections in black thing with you, because that's how you got one of the pages, or where you saw one of the pages that you ended up getting for Miles Morales. But there was I don't remember if I walked through the card exhibit or not, but you're right. A lot of those cards, because who knew it at the time? At least I didn't. But Art Adams and some of the, like, heavy hitters were drawing these cards.
Yeah.
And so, people are leaning towards that. I showed you those cards that I got, didn't I?
No, I don't think so.
Let's see. Where did I put that? Did I put it in my Hulk stuff?
Even the prelim, I can never say that word. Prelims for the the prelims for the cards too. There's actually a few on Heritage right now as well.
Yeah, actually,
X-Men Flair.
Yeah, these are. That's what these are. That's where I can look it up at. Art.
They had a big sale. I think last month. For it was a Wolverine. I think from the Masterpiece. I forgot who the artist was. It Jusco? I don't know if it was Jusco. It went for like 70,000. It was definitely.
Yeah, so this is the art.
I saw
Adams.
that.
Yeah, so I got this from Heritage.
You won it
this year? There were several of them. The person that was collecting them must have been the same person, because they had the same framing on everything. Heritage got a much better picture, so I just stuck with their picture.
Yeah,
but it's back there in my comic room. So if you look at the if you're able to see, you can't really see it, or at least I don't see it over there. The ones that are sideways, that are parallel, let's see, horizontal and vertical. So horizontal, the ones that are horizontal, those are almost the exact same. Okay, like the Hulk Thing fight, the Daredevil Elektra. It's only the ones, and for whatever reason, they decided to do a vertical card for like the Fantastic Four and the New Fantastic Four. And for whatever reason they decided to do that, it caused him to have to reshuffle how these people lined up. But all of the horizontal cards, they lined up. They look just like they were laid out on this prelim. And that's what this is it's a 11 by 17 board that he done these prelims on. And then the person just put the original cards in the glass. So to include the hologram. So,
yeah, that's a cool display, the way they did it.
Yeah. Really, the only two I was interested in on this whole thing were the Thing Hulk fight and the New Fantastic Four one, even though the New Fantastic Four one doesn't match because it's the one of those that got flip-flop. But I didn't want to cut it out.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
try to sell the other ones off, It was one of those things that I just knew for sure. See how the picture came out? You can actually see the prelims a little bit better.
Yeah.
I took a scan of it myself. It doesn't look as great, but you can actually see the prelims a little darker.
Yeah.
Than what you could otherwise. But
that's still cool though.
And so it's one of those things I put a bid on. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to win that thing. Somebody else is going to come get it. So they whoever, like I said, was collecting these things. They had a whole bunch of the color separations and stuff like that as all a part of that. But yeah, the original art itself, I've got a couple of original arts. I've got that Batman 3 Jokers one that's the Red Hood and the Joker on it. I was thinking about getting that one framed.
That's cool.
But getting it framed in the 11/17 frame, but do a border around it so that the actual production card could be down there at the bottom of it. So you don't have like a whole 11/17 frame with just a card that's, yay big. But anyway,
that's cool.
So what else? You show your recent pickups.
Yeah, I showed the Venom 9 page is the latest thing I got. I did have
Were you able to close the deal on Chung, or is he still thinking about that?
Which one was that? Oh, yeah, no.
Or did he put the ball back in your court? So you're thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, see, I've I don't want to give out too much, but what I was telling you about how I'm waiting for September. Waiting for that because I know that's where a lot of everything is going to go to, and I'm waiting for that. And I guess it doesn't help that the auction is going to be ending in like 2 weeks for Heritage either. But yeah, I guess I gotta just really pick on what I want, but I also gotta wait to hear back from them. So it's kind of if it doesn't go well, and then I miss out on the Heritage stuff because I was waiting for this. So it's kind of
Well, there's so many things out there. Like for instance, I tell you with me, so there's an issue. I have not officially said I wanted to collect this whole issue, but I do have 4 pages from the issue. Okay. So I had reached out to somebody else about a page from this issue and said, hey, if you ever want to sell it, let me know. And this has been like 2 years ago. So they reached out to me and said, hey, don't know if I caught you at a good time or not, but I am thinking about selling it, raising some money for another piece, which is always a good reason to put your name out there because you never know when this is going to happen. This is like 2 years later.
Yeah.
And so the guy says, here's the price that I'm looking at. Well, I just got a page from this same issue earlier this year. I know what I paid for it. They're very similarly comped. So I'm like, one thing, it's not a good time. I don't mind taking it from you if we can agree upon price and you're okay with, say, 3 payments.
Yeah.
So it didn't kind of work out, whatever. But the thing that kind of pushed me over was, one, I'm in the middle of bidding stuff in Heritage and Comic Link. So you start having to make life choices. And then 2, I'm like, I've really got a lot of good pages from this issue.
Yeah.
Already. And I tried to get the cover from this particular issue. And I know there was 3 people that I figure I was bidding against when I bid on this cover last year. And I was right. It was one of the 3 people. And so, so I know when it's in his hands, like I'm going to be prying this out of this guy's dead man's hands if I wanted to complete an issue.
Yeah.
And for those of us that are completionists, this is a very bad thing, especially when it's related to art, because putting books back together is a very monumental task. And if you know that you're not going to be able to get the cover, and I know where like 2 or 3 other pages are, and they're pretty much in, black hole collections. Do I really need to stretch to get this other page at this point? Right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, that would be the main reason why I would be wanting it.
So you consider it a complete book, not just the story, but the cover as well?
I would, yeah.
You okay? See, I never really thought. I thought it was just page 1 story and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's a very expensive. And see, and Ruben, the collector, Ruben's talked about this on his show, plenty of times, and a lot of people will get to the point where they're like, "Yeah, okay, this is not going to happen. Let me save a couple of good examples, and I'll get the rest off to somebody else." But it's again that thrill of the hunt, right? That you can start hunting these things down, and I've got a couple of issues that I'm like I have half of them. Like I have an Immortal Hulk page or Immortal Hulk issue. And so, the Alex Ross covers on that one are pretty pricey.
Yeah.
So the thing about the Immortal Hulk is that they have a second print, and the second print is the last page of the book. So they reused the last page, which was a cliffhanger page, for the second print. So in my mind, I'm like, and I already have that one page.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I already got the cover.
Yeah.
And I have half the book. So, but it's and on that one, I only know where one other page is at. And I've already been trying to get where that. So the rest of it's the thrill of trying to find, other ones somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, well, that's the same thing with the Dylan one that I have. The second print, the cover with Dylan in the front. That's so like I got that one, and I got lucky enough to get because he had the second print cover, and then he had it or page 3. I found someone that had the second, so now I have that page, the second cover, and then the whole origin of Dylan right there. So I guess that's like a whole. Would you say do you say the value goes up more for that because it's the origin, a second print, and like
Good.
is that?
Because it's.
I
Been
mean,
used
like I said, yeah.
I mean, essentially, you're saying it's kind of like if something's been used like across multiple platforms. Like if you have a piece of art that's been printed on shirts that was used for this issue over here, the trade paperback, it's been multiple printed. So in some people's mind, it could add value. And he didn't realize that was something that people did. Yeah, it's something that people do. It's obviously easy for newer stuff where like somebody contacts the artist and says, "Hey, I want to buy the whole book." That would come at less of a premium in the sense. I mean, you got to come up with all the money at one time, but it comes at less of a premium because you're assuming there's going to be some kind of discount because inside those pages, there's going to be some pages that are less desirable. Like where something doesn't happen on it or stuff like that. So you're kind of getting a discount for that. But yeah, putting it back together, it can be a yeoman's task because stuff's going to the penciler, stuff's going to the inker, something maybe was given to a friend of theirs at some point. It could have been caught in a house fire. Who knows, right? Yeah. But that's the thrill of it, though. That's the thrill of it. Department of Comics says, I've heard that John Byrne has every page and the cover to Fantastic Four 5. Wow. If he does, that is definitely sitting on a bunch of money in Canada. I tell you that. Could you imagine like if he had Fantastic Four 5 and he has like the whole thing? Like,
I mean, the cover alone is
right.
What the book minimum goes for like what? 3,000 beat up. Imagine a cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god,
I mean, that would easily be $1 million piece at Heritage.
I think that's more than $1 million.
Yeah,
minimum.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, if you're talking about the first appearance of Black, you're talking about first Doctor Doom. If that's number 5. Yeah.
And then I mean, with the movie and everything, I mean that just drives everything up even crazier.
Yeah, so he says, I believe that's the first Fantastic Four he bought as a kid. So yeah, that's part of it too, right? The thrill of buying something. If you remember, reading that book, the book really meant a lot to you. That could be, and if that's true on John Byrne, he probably bought it back when these things were like, I mean, they were using Kirby pages for, coasters. I mean, nobody thought this stuff was worth anything.
Well, kids would also write in and say, "Hey, I really enjoy your art," and they would send them the pieces. That right there is, I mean, that's cool of them to do, but I'm sure their families now are like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Oh, that's part of that collection where the mom said, "Oh, I threw that stuff out. I didn't figure you wanted that stuff anymore. You were growing up."
Can you imagine having that piece of art and having the letter written back to you? I think that right there is
that would be cool.
I think that's more valuable to me, I mean, obviously sentimentally, but that's something that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just to me, and I've seen someone post something like that before on Instagram where they had the letter that they wrote out and they sent them a page from a Silver Age book, and it's to have that. I mean, that's crazy.
When I was a kid, when you got to the letter section of the book, I was like, I ain't worried about these people writing stuff in. Now it's interesting to go back and look. I mean, like back in the day, they even put the addresses of these kids on there, right? And so, you think like these predators could be looking for these kids.
Oh God.
But anyhow, so so instead of telling the kid you had candy to get in their van, hey, I got Fantastic Four comics. You want to get in the van? But anyway, but think about like if you wrote in and you got one of your things published, Carl, if you're still in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you actually had one of your letters published for the Transformers. If to have pages from that book, right, to go along with the fact that your letter was published in there. So Charlton Comics put original art on the wet floor. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry, hold on a sec.
And it was a different time. But yeah, like if you were a guy, like, of course, this is before chat rooms and all this other kind of stuff, before Al Gore invented the internet. But yeah, you could actually go and say, here's this kid that says he loves Hulk comics, and we're going to catch him with this stuff. But that would be neat to put it together. Mr. Collector, not Mr. Collector, I'm doubting myself. Mr. Comics 84, digs his Spider-Man stuff. It was in Destro. Okay, there you go. Cool. Had it printed in Destro. But yeah, so he had one of his letters. He's a big ASM fan, and so he had his he's got that comic graded, but it was for that reason. It's got the letter in the back of it. That's cool. So let me show some recent pickups that I've gotten, and we're going to kick it old school. Here's another lesson learned. So this is a commission. So I had this guy, and he was selling this and pieces. I had one of it as a commission. It wasn't a commission, it was a cover. Well, silly me, instead of just buying it from him on eBay, because he was selling it at commission prices, silly me, I asked about it. Well, he ends up sending it to an auction house in London. And so I guess he lives over there or something. So he says, hey, these are going, if they don't, I'll send them to an auction house. Here's the link. If they don't go, maybe we can talk about them off. Okay, great. So I bid on several pieces, and I had never used this auction platform before. So I got approved and all that kind of stuff. And so I ended up only winning the one, which was great, but it wasn't the one I really wanted.
Yeah.
If I had to pick. And so I sent it, and this was in a frame, and it was a little cheesy frame that you buy at like the dollar store. It wasn't like a, museum glass or anything like that. So they said, we can't ship this to you. You're going to have to pay for an outside shipper. So they sent me from other shippers, and this is, again, all these people are in London, so the time differential. And so trying to get orders from them. So I had to pay the auction house. I had to pay these people. I had to let the auction house know these are the people I went with.
More than the piece itself.
It was the same price as the piece itself. So thankfully I got this piece at a good enough deal that I don't feel like I overpaid, counting it all together. But like word to the wise here, that be sure that you check all this stuff out, because they could. And when I got the piece, they could have easily taken it out of the frame and packaged it up. Like I would have gave them the frame back, for free. Yeah. Or they could have threw it away. But it's like, oh, damn it. But yeah, I wish I would have known, because I would have upbid the cover. So I felt like, okay, I'm getting two things, better about the pieces. So Anthony from Anthony's Comic Book Art, who does a lot of business, I'm always telling him on his Wednesday shows with Bill Cox hey, where's the Valiant at? So he finally listened to me, and he got Valiant. Now, have you seen where they draw sideways like this before?
No, I don't think I've seen anything like that.
Yeah, so normally they would draw 11 by 17,
Yeah.
right? Now, back in there was a time when Marvel was cutting corners, and so people drew some of the artboards this way to get 2 pages in. Okay, I don't know if that's why Lewis did it this way with Valiant, but I didn't really catch that when I was watching it that night.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't make me want the art less, but it is. There are 4 pages. There are 4 pages.
I would prefer something like that. I like that a little better, to be honest. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it's cool to have 2 pages on one.
Well, it is a smaller image, so like if you were doing a splash page, I could see where it would suck. Like
Yeah.
these aren't splash pages, so it's not that bad. But like if I had this big giant image of the main character coming out like this,
Yeah,
you feel like, oh man, that sucks. It's much smaller than what it normally would be if it was done this way.
that's true. Yeah.
But in these cases, it doesn't really matter. So these are great Louis LaRosa pages. You know, the amount of detail that he adds on his stuff. He's actually got a Kickstarter. If you're a Louis LaRosa fan, you're watching this, go check it out on Kickstarter. It ends not too long from now. But yeah, these are almost sequential pages. They're from the same issue. This is actually the well, not counting the free comic book day. This is the first appearance of his daughter, Jessie, who is actually in some of these pages here. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, I picked this up on the eBay on the cheap. So this is Sal Valletta and Bob Allman, who did the Valiant Acclaim run on Bloodshot, but probably better known for their run on Black Panther from the 90s. And it was already signed when we got it.
Cool.
So great. As long as it's reflected in the price, I'm fine with smaller. Yeah, well, I mean, it was $800 for the 4 pages. So, you know, depends on who you ask, I guess, whether or not that's a deal. This is an EXO page I got from Comic Link. Yeah, it must have been a Valiant collector was unloading a bunch of stuff on Comic Link here recently, because I was able to pick up several things on the cheap. This is all older stuff. I've got to get some new. So how do you store your art?
So put it in one of these bad boys.
Oh, okay.
And then I have one of those just to kind of give it a little more protection. I put it in one of those bags that you could travel with. If you put these in, artists and all that, they use them. I put it in there and zip it up, and then I store them like that, just to kind of protect it a little more.
Okay. Yeah. So so I pretty much do. I have the those as well. I actually, the Itoyas is what those are. I actually got one of these. I need to buy some more off of Amazon, especially if you're wanting to put like the stuff in a specific order, because it's got the ring binders, so you can unlatch them.
Yeah.
So like if you get several pages, like let's say you had a run of a certain character and you wanted them all, page 1 or issue 1, 5, 7. You don't have to keep pulling them out and reshuffling the order.
Yeah.
And so I've got some of the issues that I'm trying to put together in here, or like ones that I have a lot from a series. I need to get some more of these so I can get these seen about. and put up because I don't like leaving them out. I don't like leaving them out like this. So
Yeah, well, see, I don't have enough art to have anything laid out. I need to fill this one up. I have.
well, I think I showed this off on. Yeah, that's right. I showed this off on Mike the Six Slayers deal. But this is the big piece. This is the most I've ever paid for one piece, and kind of random that I won it. And this is a page from The Death of Captain Marvel. Jim Starlin wrote, ink,
Oh, wow.
and drew it, and it's on this kind of board. So if you ever read the story, there's what's it called in pain? You have all these various stages that you go through.
Yeah.
You go through denial, you go through anger, you go through acceptance, that type of those steps. I'm not making it up. You can Google it. But so in that issue, all the steps are in there, right? Where initially, like, no, this can't be happening to me.
Yeah.
Acceptance and all that kind of stuff. So this is the page where Rick, who, Rick Jones was the sidekick for so many Marvel characters back in the day. But Rick Jones is in denial. Like, okay, Captain Marvel, you beat, the Kree, you beat the Skrulls, you beat all this stuff, and you saying you can't beat cancer. And, and so this is the page that happens on. So
that's cool.
And then so he says, Rick, I can't help it. So this kind of hits home because I've just had two recently. Well, today I found out another coworker that I've known for 20 plus years died of cancer. And so, yeah, that issue, because we've all known people, a lot of people have died from cancer, really just normally hits home. And the fact that it's one of the few characters Marvel's never brought back. Official, he's dream sequences and scrolls and all that kind of stuff, but the character's never been brought back to life.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it more realistic too from that standpoint. But yeah, so that's I thought about hanging that one up, but that's kind of a depressing piece.
Yeah. Especially after everything you just explained, I'm like, dang, that's sad.
Oh, yeah. There's only a handful of those pages. That was Marvel's first graphic novel. And so there's only a handful of pages on CAF out there. And, especially the ones with like Thanos on there and, some of the couple of the fight sequences or some of the ones that have got all the heroes on them, then they really are more expensive. The only bad thing is that the markers that he used, and it was known, I knew this because I'd heard other people talk about it. They fade over time.
I think I did hear you say that. Yeah.
And so you can tell the markers are lighter than what they would have been. Yeah, cancer does suck. I guess this is probably a good segue. So every month every year in September, this will be the 7th year, I ride my bicycle for, raising money for the Great Cycle Challenge, which does research, the official organization. I can't think of the official organization name, but it's called the Great Cycle Challenge. And raise money for kids' cancer research. So yesterday was the first day back on the old bicycle. So if you're watching this, you can check it out in the Linktree link in the description of this video, or I just dropped this link in the live chat. But if you are so inclined to do so, cancer does suck, especially when they're kids and they have, what you would hope to be their whole lives ahead of them. And then in October, every year, we do the Comics Curing Cancer. Rob's Fat Stacks, Legion of Comics, as well as DJ Links kind of spearhead that up. And a lot of people, I've donated a lot of art this year to that. So you'll be seeing those pieces come up and available. You remember that piece that I got at Dallas Fan Expo, the Joker piece?
Yeah.
Okay, that one's in there.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Dang.
yeah, it's a big Martin Simmons Joker piece, but so that one and some other stuff made it that way over to California for Rob to mail out, assuming that it goes to someone new. So, but yeah, that I think what's that?
No, I'm always, every time I hear Dallas and you with art, I still think about the new 52 one.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I love that one.
Talking about
The which one?
You talking about where they were signing the pages?
No, the one you picked up. Not this year, but the last year or the year before.
With the Court of Owls?
Yeah, the Court of Owls.
Okay, yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, and that one's hanging up over there on the wall. I was thinking about I could have got another page from that series, but decided to hang back. You got your page, didn't you? Did you
well, I'm still waiting on that.
Well, okay.
Yeah, because I'm doing the payment thing.
Oh, okay. I got you. I couldn't remember if you had sent a payment saying you got it or
I told them originally I wanted that whole thing. I tried to get it, but I didn't get nothing back until yeah, that was a big mess. But yeah, I'll be getting that soon.
Well, yeah, that's it. Well, because I had heard somebody else had been reaching out to her, and she'd been kind of slow about responding back to him regarding a page. So that's what I was wondering.
Walk past the table, and I'm just looking. Kept walking. It's like, nope.
Well, and then the funny thing was, I told you this when I saw her at Heroes, and I struck up a conversation with her. She was like, "Oh, he got his page, didn't he?" And I'm like, "No."
It took 3 weeks to respond after like 3 attempts from my side. And then she tells me, "Oh, okay, you're going to be in Dallas the day I was already at Dallas." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Come on." I was like, "Ugh." But now that was a good time. And then Dallas has moved now to next September, now October, something late in the year.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's going to happen with that, but
I was going to tell you, I'm almost 100% sure now that I'll be going over there, OAX.
Okay.
Yeah.
Told your job to take it and shove it. I mean, what?
In February I will.
Oh,
that one in February.
Wait a minute! You need a job going to that.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about like I'm gonna tell them like, hey, I'm going, because it's not crazy for us around that time, so it works out. But once we get into like the summer, later on in the year, then that's when I gotta stay I gotta stay here. So let's see how that works out. No, I should be really good to go over there. Everything starts over, and funny enough, they give us like these little bonus things you can choose from like our store or whatever. So they're basically going to be paying for it because I have enough to get a free flight and a hotel. So
nice.
So
nice.
It works out.
So yeah, are you going to be bunking with what's his name?
Castro?
Yeah, Daniel.
Castro? Yeah, we're trying to do that honeymoon suite I was telling you about.
I'm telling you, I don't know if it was him or you I told this to.
You told me.
Okay, so I told him to. Well, no, I don't think I told him because he asked me. He said, "Yeah, me and Mark are supposed to get like a couples thing." I'm like, I'm just saying that Bill has specifically come out and said.
I read it on there. I've read it on there. It's gonna be like that scene from what's it called? I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, or is it Larry and Chuck? The Adam Sandler movie.
Where they're faking they're gay.
Yeah.
Whenever you
Oh,
do it, I just want a picture of it because I'm fixing to send it
I'm
to
gonna
Paul and everybody. I'll send it to Carlos. I'm gonna send it to Carlos.
I'm gonna pump myself up with the hat backwards. All right, let's go. This hat has done justice, so let's keep it going.
You're gonna have the hat turned like this and gonna try to turn your head like those people that are guilty when they get let out by the police. So that people go, it could be him, it could not be. I'm not sure. And so
I'm
you're gonna
gonna,
have all your luscious locks up under that hat, so it's not to give it away.
I'm gonna tell Castro. I said, "Whoa, we agreed no French." I said, "Chill. We got the room. We got the room. Chill."
Wait. Not to just full disclaimer, not to say that Daniel would, but I'm just saying that it would be funny, like if all of a sudden Daniel goes, "Hey, Mark," and you go, "No, this is."
I'm still laughing about that story where you said the jump. Someone you were jumped on the bed. And I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I knew it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Now I've heard some horror stories about the OAX, about how crazy it is out there, like just prices and everything. So yeah, no, definitely I'll have save up for that because I know that's another beast right there.
Well, hopefully I won't have to push my wife's car up the hill next year because
Oh
of the
god.
ice. But it is a little bit later next year into February. But Carl does tell you to save your pennies. OAX is a buffet of awesome. There you go.
Maybe I'll get lucky and get something cool at the auction. Not know Scotty Young, but I know Scotty Young.
The crazy thing about OAX, because I was thinking, and it is small, it's much smaller in the sense of like, say, compared to say Dallas Fan Expo, right? Mm-hmm. But so I'm thinking, man, I run into these people, bump into them all the time, type of deal. I seen Carl. I probably could count on my hands how many times I seen Carl. Like he was like a man on a mission, and like he was going here, he was going there, he was going there, So like. As a matter of fact, number one Marvel fan that was in the chat earlier, I mean, it was so loud in that auction. Like he introduced himself to me, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And then, so there for a while, he was just kind of making a running joke, "Oh, he'll actually talk to me," that type thing. Like I didn't hear what you said. I was just being like, "Hey, how's it going?" Well, because I think it was Daniel Cat. I was sitting by Daniel.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting by Daniel, and then somebody came over to me. Was it Newell? Somebody came over to me and said, "Hey, Kavi wants to see you." So I went over there to see Kavi. And then Tom was sitting over there at the same table. But anyway, fun stuff. I'm sure it's going to be even bigger this year. So definitely want to come locked and loaded. Likewise, we were passing each other as strangers at the next table. Yeah, you know what? I hope to get Dan Jurgens. Daniel keeps asking me what commissions you gonna get. What commissions you gonna get? I'm hoping to get on Dan Jurgens' list for this year. Dan's been announced there, and so hoping to get something good on his list. But we'll see. Carl, don't take another spot on Dan's list. You, Dan, goodness, you don't need no more. But anyway, all right, well, folks, I think we're going to get out of here. Mark, any place that you're going to be selling any books or anything like that?
Nah, not anytime soon. I should be, but no, not right now. Just just this is kind of like a last minute thing between us coming on here, but it was cool. Thanks for having me on. So I appreciate it.
Well, this is a judgment-free zone, Carl.
Yeah.
If you see my collection, you see there's plenty of stuff like, Jason, you could chill out a little bit on that character or that artist. But it doesn't seem to happen that way. But yeah, same thing for me. I'm going to be out of pocket for the next couple of weeks as a cruise over in the Norway. and seeing the sites over there. I am planning to go to Forbidden Planet, which is a huge comic book store there in London. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to go that when I first get there or when I get back. But in either case, we'll figure it out. First world problems. Folks, if you're watching this live or on the rewind, I hope you already smashed that like button, hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. Be sure to check back in next time. And until then, keep reading, keep collecting. Adios.